Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. We are actually in the basement here at the Carnegie Center, and normally it's a restaurant, but due to COVID it is closed. But we had this excellent opportunity to come here tonight to do an investigation, and we're hoping that the investigation proves that there is a little boy by the name of Mark that actually haunts this place. And we're going to try to gather that evidence, and we've got some really neat things. But first, I kind of want to introduce the people that are here with me tonight. And I'm going to just point to them and let them tell you their name and maybe the position or why they have joined us tonight. So go ahead.
I'm Karen Pedrosa, and I'm the historian for the now Cooper Building and Community Arts Center here. Did a whole lot of research on this building to begin with. It was built in 1904. Originally it was a post office, and then from there to a library, and now the Arts Center.
Okay, that sounds good. And then I think I want to introduce Kyle. He'll tell you his full name and last name and what he does, and maybe explain to us about Mark a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So my name is Kyle Cadell. I'm the owner of the International Paranormal Museum that is located here in the Carnegie Building. I'm also the previous director for the Carnegie Community Arts Center. So one of our most famous stories we have of this building is Little Mark Thatcher. Mark Thatcher is a boy that actually lived right next to this building, or right next to this plot. He actually passed away before this building was here. And at that time, there was Colonel Morrow's house on the property. And Mark would come over all the time to play with his brother and the children that lived here. And one time in 1894, I believe, they were playing with a bow and arrow, Mark and his brother and some of the children that lived here, and there was an accident where Mark ended up being shot with the arrow and passed away on the property. And after that, his family had a portrait painted of Mark Thatcher and donated it to the library. It actually hung in this building for years and years, and almost everyone that worked as the library staff claims to have seen Mark at one point. His most famous thing is to run around from this back room straight to the elevator room back
Like here, this would be the path.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been heard and seen running and laughing several times. He would play with the elevator, make it go up and down by itself, and just kind of a little mischievous spirit here.
Okay, well that's great. Now, somebody might be hearing some noise in the background, and we're going to explain what that noise is. But first, I would really like to ask the people that are watching the YouTube, watch it really carefully, because as we are moving about, there's a possibility that we are going to miss maybe a shadow or something that moves. And if you catch it, please write it down, send it to us, and then we can go back and audit the rest of the, thank you. And we can audit the rest of the tape to see if we can see what it is that we missed. So we're gonna walk over and just explain a few pieces of our equipment. And Kyle has a bear, and I want him to explain how this works. Let's go over this way. I notice it has a green light on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is called the Boo Buddy, and the Boo Buddy is his own paranormal investigator. Every 30 seconds, he's going to ask a question. Basically a prompting question to kind of gather EVPs. In addition to that, he has in both hands an EMF meter, so he can contact if anything sets those off.
So if I touch it, can I do that?
Yeah, it should.
I see.
Yeah, they light up red when they have the contact.
That would be great if Mark touched.
Yeah. So he should here in a few seconds say, "I like hugs," or one of those things that confirm that he was touched.
So he has.
Yes, Boo Buddy's ticklish, because we touched him.
Okay. All right. So he has an EMF meter in it.
Yeah, he asks the prompting questions, and he also has a temperature gauge in him. So if he picks up a temperature like spike, for instance, he'll say, "Did you make it warm in here?" And just kind of
What
let
about
you
if it
know.
lowers?
Yeah, he'll say, "Burr, it's cold."
It's
in
cold.
here."
Oh my gosh. So I guess for a moment we might want to ask if Mark, bless his heart, if you're here with us tonight, and I hope you are, if you would like to just come in and look at this bear. It's probably like nothing you've ever seen within your lifetime. It's a lot of fun, and if you want to interact with it, maybe touch it, or say something. It doesn't record, but if he says something, we might get it in our recorder,
Exactly.
right? Okay, so let's just give that a minute and see what happens.
So that means he didn't necessarily pick up anything yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna grab my recorder too. Something just might come through this. Stop. Okay, I want to take this time. If we can, I think maybe I'll turn this one off. Sorry, we have another instrument running in the background. Let me just play this back and see if we have picked up a sound and we got lucky enough maybe to pick up a name, a message, or something from Mark. Before this,
Yeah.
I swear it said Mark. I'll play it back. This is so exciting. Hold on.
See now. Yeah, that sounds like Mark. And it's definitely not this voice.
That's coming through twice. It says Mark twice. This is awesome. So in a little bit, I might run it through that audio just to clean it up, just to make sure. But I'm gonna play it one more time, and it definitely at the beginning it definitely says Mark. And this is a recorder. It's by Panasonic, so it's not one of these program things where voices come through all the time. It's just if a voice comes through, it's pretty much a voice. And so I'm gonna play it again. And at the beginning, it says Mark. And it goes Mark. You can hear that. Mark again.
That's so weird.
And it wasn't either of these, you know, you can tell the difference. Well, that is encouraging.
Yeah.
So I think anytime I am lucky enough to get an EVP like that, my next step is let's go ahead, anybody with cameras and you want to take pictures, I think we should start taking pictures in this general area. And anybody that has a camera, just go with me, and we'll do the we'll do the pictures. Okay. And then maybe even a video. Now remember, everybody, and those that are watching the tape, if you see anything at all, a shadow, especially there, where it's dark anyway, it's not a doorway, but there's a doorway there. Sometimes when you film a doorway, you'll have something that'll peek its head through. That's happened quite a bit for me on different ghost investigations. And that's me knocking this chair, so I can think that maybe there was some knocking going on. And there's a doorway there. This is where he is said. Is that a door there, that dark space? Is that just
not right there, that's just the...
But where does he come through? The door here?
Yeah, the door right there.
Oh, okay. So that's the door you come through. Can you tell me again how old you think that the little boy was?
9, 10.
10.
Yeah,
He was
10.
about 10. He would have probably outgrown the bear. I'm wondering if he would have more fun with like the jacks and ball.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fun thing for little, or marbles. Maybe the next time that we come and do this, we might be able to bring toys more of that era, you know, and of his age. For his age. All right, let's stop there. Okay. You want to take this camera and of you too. How often have you seen the activity of Morrow?
A handful of times.
Handful.
Maybe 4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay. And was it mostly here that you saw it?
So twice in here, once in the back room of the elevator, once the elevator went up and down by itself and opened while we were on the 3rd floor, and we heard something then. So.
Okay. All right. So maybe we should move to the 3rd floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we could, and then we'll take the elevator just in case something happens.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping. We'll take the elevator up, and then that way we can try some of these other applications and see if we can get some other validations. I love the recording, Mark. I mean,
Yeah.
that was pretty great. So let's go ahead and do that. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
We are going to say a prayer, and as we say it, we want the energy to completely go through the circle. So what we're going to do is we've got our left hand up and our right hand down so that the energy does not break as it goes around. So dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you cover us in the bright white light of love as we go forth today trying to gather evidence from the ghosts and spirits that might haunt this location. We also ask Archangel Michael to come join us and to shield us from any negativity and to be with us if in fact we need to do a crossover. We are so grateful that we are gathered here in mind, body, and spirit to learn these lessons so that we can find out more about life on earth and life after death. Amen. All right, so follow us, guys. We're getting ready to go on the elevator. Tell us what happens sometimes when Mark's on the elevator.
Mark likes to mess with people on the elevator. I've been on it 2 or 3 times, and you'll go to push the button to go, it lights up, and then moments after the light goes out, and you have to do it again. You actually hear it click from like someone's clicking the button.
Okay, so as if he mashed it so that it would, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Well, you know, sometimes when you're in an elevator, it can be pretty scary, just when it's not haunted. So I'm kind of hoping something will happen, and then I'm kind of hoping it won't happen, okay? So let's go. Let's see if it'll do it. Oh, I hear it. I guess that's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, here we go. I think we should have, oh, here it comes. I started saying, I think we should have pushed it before. All right, here we go. I'll go in first. How about that? Okay. I think there's just enough room for us.
Third floor.
Yes, 3rd floor, please. Oh dear, is that bad?
Oh, I've never been on it to do this.
Oh, why is it shaking? Oh, I don't want to go on this again. I really don't.
Oh, this is probably the reason why it took so long to get down.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to go to the stairs when we leave.
I'm all for that.
Oh my goodness gracious, my heart. Oh. Okay. All right. I always do this on these investigations. I always take the scariest path and then regret it. Oh, it was scary coming back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, please, let's make it.
It was not
All right, this is really beautiful. This is where we got our extra EVP. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I can play it as well. Okay, let's see if we can get a little more atmosphere here. Do we want to turn out some of the lights here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Should have.
Sweet, go ahead. I'm
Now right on you.
So I just turned the meter on. We're giving it a minute. It just went off. Unfortunately, we didn't have our cameras on. That's the way it usually works. You know what I mean? You get something great and you're like, did you get it? Well, nope. So let me just ask, can you please come back and just verify the fact that you're here with us now and just make our meter go off? It is set up for a regular EMF meter, like the cell sensor meter, like this one. I could go ahead and turn this one on too. And we'll just have both of them on, just in case they decide to go off. And this is a recorder, and my iPhone is over here. So I just wanted to move it so no one would say, oh, it's going off because of the iPhone. Okay, so I tell you what, let's do. I want to find out more about Mark. I feel like it would be very important. I notice here that you've set some pictures out from your file, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's talk about each one. Now, this is a very old photo.
Absolutely.
Which one is?
This is Mark right here.
Mark is the tallest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was probably about 5 or 6 in that photo, about
Okay.
4 or 5 years before.
And I
he
guess
passed
these are
away.
his siblings.
Yep.
Okay. And then here, oh well, I like this one.
Yeah.
It's the portrait. Now you said that portrait used to hang here?
Absolutely. This
Okay.
was painted after his death.
Uh-huh.
It was painted based on, actually you can see how similar it is to this photograph. It was based on several photographs that they had of him.
Oh, I see.
And
so he didn't actually pose for this.
correct.
Oh.
And yeah, he was already passed away, and this painting was already started.
Oh, I see.
Wasn't necessarily going to be him, but when he died, it became him.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
so it's based on several of his photographs, and after this building became the library in '67, his descendants actually donated this to the library, and it hung into that one room we were just in
Yes.
for years,
Oh.
and that was actually kind of the anchor for a lot of the Mark activity.
Okay. Now, where is it hanging now?
Whenever the new library moved over to their new building in 2010, it went with them.
It went with
So
them.
it's
Do you think that they have any activity over there?
They absolutely do.
Are you kidding?
A lot of the activity that was experienced here by the librarians has followed them over there. It seems like he travels back and forth now, but underneath where his painting is hanging now,
Yeah.
in the basement is the teen section. Almost every librarian that's worked in the teen section has seen him down there now.
Oh my
And their
goodness.
brand new elevator goes up and down by itself as well. just
Oh
so
my gosh.
nice.
So he's affecting the elevator the same way. That
Exactly.
building and in
Yeah,
this
he
building.
loves elevators.
I love it. Okay, well, this is good. I think I was standing here the other day where she is standing. Would you mind joining her and stand?
Not at all.
And then, do you have your camera where it shows the boxes?
I do.
Okay, do that, and then I am going to go to my app that shows like the little stick people, and we'll just see if we can get both these applications to agree, if we do get the other person. Now, at that point, I was asking if Mark would show himself when we took the picture, and you can actually take a picture of the image, can't you? Yeah. So what I might have to do is do the old-fashioned way. You know how to take a picture. You know how you. I'll have to figure out how to do it on this new iPhone. I haven't learned how to work it yet. Okay, so let me find mine, and I'm gonna come around beside you, and let's just see, what have you got? Let me go ahead and turn mine on. Okay, now do you see how where they're standing, you see how it does like a stick? So it's doing a stick person on you guys. It's showing her hands folded in front of her.
Yes.
And, okay, now what did you get? Did you get a person? Right there.
Yeah.
And do you get a person here? Okay. That's odd that we got the person in the same place. We got a person. So if there's a person standing, yes, beside you. Now let me turn this, and let's just see if we get it to agree. Yesterday we did this, and they both came out on both. It was on. Just for a second, it flashed over, and it was small, it flashed over here. Let me see if I can. I love using these different devices. I mean, basically, when people say, "Oh, you believe those things? They're rigged or whatever," maybe they are. I don't know. Just like when I turn on the lights, I can't explain to you how they work. I know there's a switch and I can turn it on. And so, basically, it's an algorithm to pick up the human form. And then, if there is something, and I'm going to back up just a little bit and see if maybe we can get something. Like she is showing energy to the right of you, Kyle, but I'm not picking up anything. I did for a second pick up something very quickly, like it looked like it was running, and it went, and then of course it disappeared. And I'm hoping that it'll come back. I'll ask Mark if that was you. Could maybe you come back and stand beside Kyle? And then Kyle, I'm going to ask you to move. I'm going to ask you to move over to the right. Your right. Let me just see if we get some movement. I'm going to ask you to move over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can convince Mark to go in between you guys. Let me see. Oh, yes, I'm getting something. And it's in between you guys. Oh my gosh. It's coming in and out. Karen, are you getting anything with a a picture that shows a person in that area with your
Not
squares?
yet. Not yet.
It doesn't stay. It goes from, but I'm going to tell you where it's going to. It's going to the pictures. So this might have the algorithm where it's seeing the faces. Can y'all turn those around maybe? Let's do that and see if maybe that's what it's picking up.
Got it.
You got it?
Got it.
It did say person? All right, now she says it says person. But again, it might be picking up on the pictures' faces.
Could be.
Yes, so now we turned it, and let's just see if we can. Mark, can you take your energy and just go in between these two? Now before I thought I captured energy, but this program has an algorithm to pick up like the face and the human body. So maybe it was picking up the faces on the photos. And you know what? I think it was because I'm not getting anything. Now let me just go here. There's the lamp. Okay. I don't know why it would be picking up on the lamp, because the lamp is definitely not, wouldn't have an algorithm for a human. But there was just some little activity on the lamp. Let's go over here. The window. Oh, now that's really cool. It even depicts this shape here, which would make sense because it does look a little bit human with the arms and the head. Let me come around here. Here's the elevator. Ooh, elevator, that's your favorite. And I just saw something on the elevator. Oh, what a wonderful sound. Okay. All right, no, I didn't get anything else, but I'm glad that we turned the faces over, because I kind of like, anytime I investigate, I kind of like to make sure that I debunk and debunk and debunk until we eliminate all other possibilities. All right, I'm going to turn this off. Okay, I think the next crucial thing that we can do is, I'd like to try another EVP, if you guys don't mind. Okay, and let's see. Would you do a favor while we're doing the EVPs? You still got your recorder on, right?
Yes.
Just every once in a while take snapshots as we're doing the EVP, because a lot of times when I'm doing an EVP, I've had people to take a snapshot of us, and what happens is sometimes in the background we'll get like, a shadow or something. So I'm going to go ahead and do a new audio. So let me record. Now for you guys, when I'm holding this in my hand a lot of times, it has a blinker on it, because this is voice activated. And so voice activation means that it will not pick up any sounds unless the sound comes through. So that's why I'm going to ask you guys, we're going to try not to even move for 30 seconds. Just be really still, no clicking of cameras, no anything. And then you'll see me watching it doing this and this and this. Well, what I'm watching for is when it blinks, there's nothing coming through. But if it holds, it means there's a voice coming through, or either a sound like footprints or heavy breathing, something of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it for 30 seconds. I'll ask it, but if it looks like I'm getting some really good energy, I'm going to point at it, and hopefully we'll get something from that. So let me get started. Hello, sweet spirits. Can you speak with us tonight? We would love to hear from you. Thank you. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't get any, I got a couple of real slight hesitations, I don't think I got anything, but sometimes I'll say that and I'll go to play it and I've got a whole full conversation. So let me go ahead and play this back and just see if we got anything.
I'll turn it on.
That's good.
Hello, sweet spirit. Can you speak with us tonight?
Are your batteries dying?
Love
I do it like that.
Oh.
to hear from you.
Got a lot more than I thought.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And you asked a very good question. You said, "Did you slow it down?" Because it sounds like I'm drunk. You know, I do slow it down because for me, when I get EVPs, sometimes they'll come through really fast. Like they'll say, one time I got a great sentence from the Talbot Tavern where I used to manage, and it said, "Welcome to the tavern. Have a seat, and I went, "What in the world did it say?" So I went to the radio station where they have all of that equipment. Had some friends there, and they slowed it down. And she says, "Welcome to the Talbot. I will seat you." And I went, "Oh my gosh." And so the history to that is that at the time that Annie owned this Talbot Tavern, it was not a tavern. She wouldn't allow alcohol, so it was just an inn and a restaurant. So she would have said, "Welcome to the Talbot," instead of "Welcome to the tavern." So then it helped me to identify who she was. But so every time I record in this particular recorder, I've already slowed it down. That way, if anything comes through, like when Edwin came through, it was Edwin. It was so good. So anyway, I'm going to play this back, and let's just see if we can make out what was said.
Hello, sweet spirit. Can you speak with us tonight? We would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Now, what I like about this is that he is coming through. It's unclear. What I do on my second attempt is I'll ask him to speak more clear, and let's just see if by this he'll identify himself. And again, we may have. This is where we got Edwin, so again we may get that. So I am going to ask if he can speak just a little more clear. So hold on. Can you speak just a little more clear so we in fact know who you are? Give us a name or a message. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna play that back. Again, it didn't clip, but I got something last time. It looks like I'm not gonna get anything, but let's just see. Okay, we did get something. Can't make it out, but I did bring some equipment with me downstairs in my computer. And we'll run this through before we leave and play it back and see if we got anything. So that would be great. I always feel like when I do an investigation and I'm trying to make some type of communication, that as I get the communication, I want to make sure that I used my EVPs and my meters. The meter just sounded out once. Let me move my phones again. I don't want to make it go off because of my phones. The meter only sounded out once, so this is why I like to go in different locations and then, go with the EVPs. Right. So we're just trying a little experiment here. The cameraman, when he's recording us, sometimes he gets an indication that there's someone standing by us by the square coming up, and there's nobody here. So I'm going to ask the sweet spirits here that are with us tonight, help us prove that you exist. We're trying to collect enough evidence to help us understand about why you are here or why we have this kind of activity in this location. So can you come and maybe stand beside me, to the right, to the left of me? Can you come and do that? Any indication? Okay, Karen, would you come stand beside me? Maybe it'll work better with more than one person. So here we are. Our energies are reaching out. We really, really want you to come through. We really, really want to see if you can either come stand between us or stand beside us, either one of us. And I'll ask you to let us know if that happens. Anything so far? Nothing? Okay. Hello? Over here? Nothing at all? Darn it. That's the way it always happens. It'll be off camera and it happens. Then when we try to, record it, then it doesn't happen. But that's okay. All right. Thank you.
Now,
So earlier, back in November, I actually came here and did an investigation with the group. They had a psychic and a historian. And as we were doing the investigation, I wanted to do one of my EVP sessions. And we were honestly thinking that we could get Mark, because he seems to be the most popular spirit here. And they took a picture of me, and there was a box. It's a type of app, and if it identifies everything in boxes. It'll say a lamp, a table, a chair. It'll say person. It said person and a small person next to me. So when I did my recorder, I said, if you're Mark, please come through. But Mark didn't come through. Let me tell you who came through. A man by the name of Edwin.
Really?
Yeah.
Edwin, so the only Edwin I know that is associated with this area is
Yeah.
Edwin P. Morrow, the 40th governor of Kentucky, was born right here on this property.
Yes.
It was his dad's house that was here that he sold it to the county.
Oh,
So
my
that's
gosh.
a little...
Now,
we
wait a
have a
minute.
famous ghost.
Yeah, well, Jesse James was famous, and he
Yeah.
comes through. But wait a minute. So Edwin was here. He lived here. He was
Yeah.
lived, like there was a house here before this.
Absolutely, yeah, right way here.
Right here. Okay. How did he die? Do you know? Is it suspicious?
It was old age as far as I know,
Oh,
but
okay.
he was an older person. Like
Okay.
he and his twin brother were both born here, and then
Okay.
Edwin, like I said, became the 40th governor.
Okay.
And eventually ritired and died at his house right down the street from us.
Okay. Well, now I'm just curious. Wonder what it was kind of at the end of the investigation, so we kind of wrapped it up, at that point. But do you know enough about Edwin to know? Was he involved in anything that might not have been?
I can't tell you for
Okay.
sure. I know he was very politically active.
Okay.
His whole family was.
Okay.
His father, T.Z. Morrow, who owned the house here, actually started the Republican Party of Kentucky.
Okay.
So they were very entrenched in local statewide politics and everything. So he's definitely someone that we could even find a record of.
Okay.
Far beyond most of the people that we could
Yeah.
run into spirits of.
Well, I know when I spoke to Karen, Melissa was one of the investigators with us. So when I played this back and it said Edwin, she goes, "Stop! Play that again," because she had just told her that she was picking up a spirit here, and it was a new energy, just like I predicted that there was going to be a new energy. And she said, Edwin. And to her, she looked it up. Now, did you find anything else on Edwin?
Well, I knew beforehand that Edwin had grown up here.
Okay.
Because his father owned the property. I wasn't expecting Edwin to come through because we had never gotten Edwin on any of the EVPs we had done before.
Right.
So he was a surprise.
So
when
he
we
was
got
the
that.
new one that that, you know, before I got to the investigation, I was like, we're going to be picking up a new spirit here. And Melissa kind of broke my bubble. She said, oh, we've already got him. But she didn't tell me who it was. I had no idea. So when I'm listening to this and then we go, Edwin, she goes, stop. Because then she knew that these two had already been looking into that.
Yeah.
Did you find anything in particular about his death that seemed mysterious or different?
It was an issue with his heart.
Okay,
and
well,
I can't-
at that age, if he
Right.
died of old age,
Right.
yeah, it could have been something.
So that was the only thing that I was able to find was he had an issue with his heart. and
Okay.
It was sudden. He died suddenly, basically.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to play this because I want you to hear it, and you tell me what you think. Edwin.
That absolutely sounds like Edwin, yeah.
Edwin.
Wow.
Yes. So I got pretty excited about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were all on the same page as far as on my drive, I'm getting new spirit. Get there. Melissa says, no, I got it like a few days ago before I got here. And then they had already looked up the history. But we kind of captured this at the end of the investigation, so we didn't have time to really go into more detail to find out more about him. But I thought that was really interesting. So it does prove, I think, with the evidence that we got, a little bit of evidence, that we got, that maybe Mark is still here, and now we have to figure out why Edwin is here. What is he trying to tell us? Yes. And then there were some other issues. There was someone that fell off the roof. Can you tell us about that?
That's James. James was They had workers come in and were doing repairs on the roof.
Mm-hmm. Is this when it was a library or another
The
house?
house.
Okay.
House. So he fell off the roof. I was not able to find out what his last name was. The only thing I know was that he was here and he was one of the workers that was working on it.
And his first name,
James.
James. Did you know anything about James?
We originally got the name James from a group that came in and did an investigation in, I believe, 2011.
Okay.
And they got the EVP up in this room
All right.
of James's name.
Okay.
And that's eventually found enough research to find out that yes, there was a roofer that died falling off the roof here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, when you refer to James, does he do anything? Has he been seen or heard?
He's a little bit of a hermit for the most part.
He is.
He doesn't really like strangers. The most active thing we've ever had with him is one of the art teachers who works back here. Her name's Cece.
Mm-hmm.
One time we were doing an EVP session up here, and we asked if James likes any of us, and he said the name Cece.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Well, that was good. That was good. All right. Well, I think that probably concludes what we came in to do. The best part, having you guys here, thank you so much for your knowledge and help.
Thank you.
For me as a ghost hunter, I get more excited over the history than I do the actual,
Yeah.
the actual evidence that we get, because this is things that happen in our history, and without maybe some of these spirits kind of being active, we wouldn't have even looked them up.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know this guy was a governor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is too much. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys joining us tonight, and everybody out there that's watching this YouTube. But please do me a favor, really notice as we were walking around, if you see anything at all, just comment down below the video. And pardon me? Oh, yes. Excuse me, I'm being cued over here in the corner. But please, let me see, how's it go? You got to like and subscribe and hit the bell. And if you do that, it will help us so much. We want to do so many more of these. So just help us out, subscribe, like, and hit the bell. So thank you very much.